All right. Let's do this. Happy Friday, everybody. That other JC. Good morning, brother. Good morning. Good morning to everyone. It's Friday. I was very comfortable in bed. Thought about it a couple times. Do I want to wake up and do this? Yes, we're going to do this. Win, lose, or draw. Let's do it. All right, 6:15 a.m. here in Arizona. This is brutal. Let's see what we got here. All right, let's take a look at the 4-hour. Hop on to One Tower. You guys are seeing the chart? Yeah. All right, so what do we got here for today? Let's take a look at the 4-hour. Let's start with the higher time frames. We continue to be in this overall range since last week, right? Uh-oh. What's going on with my mouse? Come on. Oh, we got some mouse issues today. No bueno. Okay, so overall range, right? Since last week, just going back and forth in that nasty chop that we've seen. You have one directional move during the open, and then you got the rest of the day just stuck in chop. And we're right in the middle. Market just undecided what it wants to do with this Middle East stuff. So we are right in the middle of the overall range, right? Let's take a look at the 1-hour. Okay, so we attempted to break down and been slowly climbing back up since yesterday. We had this overnight low down there, and bulls are signaling that they are in control. Oh wow, my mouse has issues today. What's going on here? JC, where are you learning all this, huh? I'm impressed. Okay, so we know we're in the middle of the overall range coming in from last week. Chop. And that's what we've seen pretty much for the last couple of days. One directional move, and then you have some consolidation. Let's take a look at last night. What ended up happening after I disconnected last night? Let's take a look at the 5-minute. Looks like we broke out of that range. Okay, so here was the trade that I was waiting for. Did it play out? It did play out. Look at that. I just got too tired. So I said I was looking for a short somewhere around this area so that I can have a stop above this. And here it played out, right? Finally hit this level probably an hour after I disconnected, and you got the flush. It said 20 to 30 points. That was a 20 to 30 point flush. So it did play out, and then eventually we did break out. We had 2 attempts on the overnight, and then finally the bulls made their move after multiple attempts last night to get over this level, right? That was that key resistance zone last night that we were watching. It just took too long, but we did have a couple of shorts in this area playing that resistance zone. You just have to be very flexible with your stop. If you didn't catch it here and you played it here, you just have to manage that stop to catch the flush. The beautiful flush happened way later, almost at 1 a.m. But we were watching this resistance zone for that short. All right, but it just happens so slow in the overnight. Super Earthman, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Good morning to everyone. Anybody new to the stream, I live stream from Arizona, so my times are 3 hours behind. Don't freak out when you look at my times. Oh, he's live streaming from the past. I'm 3 hours behind. Now, what do we have coming in after? So we talked about this in the overnight session. We talked about that range. Let me go back to the 15 minute. We talked about this initial range that was playing out at the morning part, right? But it is extended, right? We did play back and forth into this range. We finally broke out. So now we're clearly, bulls are clearly in control right now. They have been. That was a simple consolidation zone. So what's the game plan? So we know this area down here, the 930, provided resistance for a good part of that move up until it finally broke out, and it broke out with strength, right? You had multiple attempts during the overnight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then when it finally broke out, you had that huge 1 minute candle. Was that a 1 minute? Yeah, 1 minute candle to the upside. So this now has to be tested for support. Not saying today, but this was a strong resistance level on the breakout that we saw last night. Will we get the test again today? I don't know. If we don't, and bulls are in control, well, what do we have to play off of, right? We have this area that played out. This area was resistance. We had consolidation. Resistance became support for the move to the upside. Bulls just continue to push, though. That's the problem. So that is what we've got if we're going to participate on this push up. In other words, if there's continuation, looking for a pullback, what type of pullback would I be looking at? Well, we don't have much of ranges. Remember, we're in the middle of a 4-hour range as it is. So it's going to be choppy. It's been choppy. And let's see. Joe M, good morning. Thanks for tuning in, brother. Appreciate everybody tuning in. I know there's a lot of talented traders out there, a lot of options, so thanks for tuning in. And let's see what we get today. We got 7 minutes from the open, or till the open. We got a little bull flag right here, bull flag right here. So don't short those bull flags. Clearly, bulls are in control. We got, let's see, in terms of pivot points, 72 is your next pivot point. Morning, Mo. That other JC, where is, I know you're on Ninja. Where is your VWAP on Ninja? $9.22. Got some serious issues then. But I'm not going to find out what the issue with my VWAP on TradingView is. We'll let it play. Okay. Five minutes till the open. That's the game plan. We're going to watch for some type of pullback. Potential pullback to test the top of this range that we were in. Potential pullback to test the bottom of this range or the breakout level. Mo's been long since last night. Very nice, Mo. All right, give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. So that is the plan. We don't have much in terms of levels. We know we're in the middle of a 4-hour range, so we expect chop. Bulls have clearly pushed up. Friend is your friend. So if I want to participate in a continuation move, I'd look for a pullback. Let's see what the market gives us. The market clearly pushing up. We do have the pivot point at 75. So I could see a quick test of the previous day high. And I'm not using Juneteenth levels, by the way. I'm using, what's today, Friday? Wednesday level. So I'm not counting yesterday as far as previous day high or previous day low. I'm using Wednesday's levels. So Wednesday's high was up here, Wednesday's low here, and then we have the overnight high and the overnight low. So I could see a quick push to test the previous day high. There it is. There's that quick push. I was actually thinking about the open. Quick move to test the previous day high and the pivot point. We are now pushing with strength above that pivot point. God damn it. God damn it. Why does it have to do this before the open? I was very open to long right at the open on a quick push to this for a quick 30-40 points. Bummer. So we'll wait for the pullback. We just pushed above that pivot point with strength, obviously. So I think now we'll have a pullback. We want a pullback, right? It can't go any higher. We want to pull back. Some either take the initial long right around here. Wait for continuation. It could be a tricky one now. 1 minute to the open. Now, if the bulls just pick it up from here and continue to push, momentum play, huh? Ooh, done one of those in a while. "15 seconds. So initial rejection at that pivot point. Let's see how far this pullback goes into the open. 2, 1, and the casino is open. Let's go. There's that pullback. See how far back we go. That 980 level might look juicy, but we might not get it if the bulls just want to continue on this gap and go. Gaps love to be filled, but this could be a gap and go day, and we may have to ride the trend. Let's just wait. It's 1 minute into the open. No need to get greedy. Initial pullback to test the 20 SMA. Strong bounce. Testing previous day high and overnight high, right? I got to move my overnight high up here. Initial pullback. Gotta be careful with this trap. long in the high, but very aware that bulls are in control. This may be a gap and go open. Let's see. Another push down to that 20 SMA. Let's see if we get another touch, or if the 9 EMA becomes the support now. It's that blue line that you got there that I've been watching lately. I mainly use the 20 into 200. I've been experimenting watching that 9 EMA. Still not convinced that it does anything, but I'm watching it. I'm watching it. All right, so here we go. Bounce there at the 9. It's now 4 candles in that consolidation, possible bull flag formation. Be very careful not getting trapped here, but very aware that trend is your friend. This may be a gap and go day. Okay. Anybody who longed up there just got trapped. Let's wait for another pullback. Playing that consolidation. Let's be patient. Another push to the downside. The 9 EMA is providing, interestingly enough, that support. 20 hasn't been it's only been tested once so far. Will we flush below the 9, or the 9 continues to provide that support? Choppy. Okay, here we go. Just being careful of this trap up here. Like a stronger pullback. But again, this could clearly be a gap and go day. And I'm open to hopping on a long. See what happens here. It's getting tight. Getting tight. Nine holding. Bull flag is forming there. I'm going to hop on a long. Looking for continuation to the upside. Being very careful of being stuck in a trap to the upside. I need to see a break quickly within the next 2 minutes above this level. Otherwise, I'll close it. Fully aware that that could be a trap. Needs to push. There it is. There it is. Needs to push with strength. Come on, baby. Keep going. Ooh, nope. That's a look above and fail. I may close it. Not interested in a look above and fail. I needed to see push, right? We're not dreaming here. We wanted continuation on that candle. We didn't get it. Doesn't mean we won't get it. I'm just protecting losses on during an open. And I can hop on this long again. Here we go. And now you need to ride. If this is an ugly trap, it's laying it out nicely. But let's hope the bulls are in control and let's keep pushing. Now, let's see what level. Ugh, not convinced. Not convinced here. No, I'm not convinced. Not the price action I like. It's a true gap and go. We need power. We need strength. I'll entertain it. If it's a grind up, I do horrible on grind ups. This candle needs to push. You need to push. Nope. Come on. Not liking it. I think we're at break even now. Just not the price action I like. I like stronger movements. I'm not going to risk a pullback to the 20, so maybe let's wait for the pullback. Fortunately, NQ is moving even on these directional days. It's very slow, and I don't like slow grind days. So we attempted twice. We're not in the red. We're break even at this point. But I'm going to have to wait for a stronger pullback. Now, if it does push at this point, it is what it is. Prop-Works trading, nicely done. So it's a slow, it looks like it's going to be a slow grind up if it continues. Just not my style. I like quicker movements to the upside. And I'll have to wait at this point for the pullback. I'm going to enter a third time. And Q, not making it easy. It's pushing. It's not those quick 20, 30 point candles I like. But it's pushing. All right, let's wait for a pullback. Let's see if we can get some type of pullback to the moving averages. If it's a gap and go, then forget it. This thing is just going to push up. And I'll have to figure out at where I'm comfortable hopping on along. And listen, the market lately has been rewarding patient traders. Technically, if I had held my first trade, I'd probably be walking out right now, but that's why you trade the open, to get it done with 2 candles. Just the market hasn't been giving us that. All right, here comes a pullback. So now we're watching for a pullback. No pullback. $128. Now we gotta visualize 200 is the target here. So if I want to participate in this, how much risk am I willing to take on a pullback if I want to participate at the top, or continue to wait for the pullback? Maybe a nice little pullback to test previous day high, the overnight high around here, and then enter. Let's see. Let's be a little patient. JC, you got that long. Very nice. All right, here's the pullback, testing the 9 right now. See if we get a full test down to the 20. That would be nice. And then watch for either a break to the downside, or that's the bounce right here. I may not get it, so I got to be fully aware that bulls are in control, and it's one of those days with no significant pullback. Super Earthman, AZ, 100-degree weather, brother. We were 118 yesterday. We're in that time of the year. 110 starts feeling a little warm for us here. 120, you know, it's mild summer. I mean, Chandler, Arizona. So technically desert / mountains. You got a little bit of everything. All right, testing that 9 that everybody's been talking about lately. Let's see if we can test the 20. Or if we break down with strength, then we got to flip our mindset here and figure out how low this is going to go. Yeah, that's the one thing, brother. Dry heat in the desert. It's very different to be in 100 degrees in Arizona with dry heat than 90 degrees in New York with humidity. All right, this could be the bounce. Just got to be a little protective here, since we're, for the 9 EMA players, the 9 has to be fair, provided the support on this move up. If that's all we're going to get in terms of a pullback, decisions. And whatever direction I do take, I'm going to have to be very aware that it's slow, grindy movements. Just going to have to accept that we're not going to get those 20, 30-point candles that I was waiting on these longs. And it is what it is. It's a price action. Just not used to this price action. I don't like it. And that may be the pullback entry that tested the 9 EMA right there. Just long in the highs. I'd like a test of the 20, in other words, testing this level, and then confirm that we are bouncing. And I'll hop on another long, and that will probably be the 3rd trade. Well, let's see if this is a trap and we got some downside to this and we can flip our bias. Testing the 20 now. Now in between the 9 and the 20, are we going to get a flush of that 20 SMA? Or is the 20 going to provide the support? We get a flush to the downside. We got decisions to make on where to enter for a possible long, or this is a trap to the upside. Bulls stair-stepped it. Bears taking the elevator down. Yeah, I'm watching the 5-minute right here. I got the 5-minute and the 15, so I'm watching the 5-minute right now. We got pivot point at 80, right? Are we going to take the full pullback down to 80, which is the top of this initial chop zone right at the open, or right before the open? Or the 20 SMA becomes support for the bounce. This is what I'm watching for. Five-minute got a bearish engulfing candle forming on the 5-minute. So if this is a trap to the upside, which I'm not surprised, right? We didn't see any strength in this push up. Let's see how far of a pullback we get. See if we can come back and test the pivot point around 80. And then make, we're at 89 right now. Pivot point is at 70, I'm sorry. So the bottom of this range. And then consider the bounce. But with this movement, with the price action being so slow, it gets a little tricky. Okay, there's the pullback. Let's see how far back we go. Fully aware, trend is your friend. Technically, the bulls have been in control from the overnight session. A little debatable if bulls have been in control during the morning or the New York session. We had a push up right at the open and then immediate rejection. So if this is the trap, how do we participate now on a move to the downside? I have some VWAP issues on my trading view. I don't know why. I do have live data. It's not that I'm delayed. Where is VWAP on Ninja and Tradeify players? Where's your VWAP? Trading view, I got to take some time today to figure out what's going on with my VWAP. Because I don't chart on Quantower. I use trading view. All right, so trap in effect. Now we got to consider gaps love to be filled. If the gap and go is not a play, let's watch what happens. $15-minute opening range. So let's watch what happens at the bottom of that 15-minute opening range. I'm getting interested in a long if we're going to have, well, it's a V. Let's watch this bounce. It's the bounce on the 20 SMA on the 5-minute. 12-point, 15-point bounce so far. I don't know. Looks like the bears want to take a little bit more control here for further downside. And somebody, like I said, my trading view is off today. Can you guys tell me where VWAP on your charts is? Everybody's staring at the charts. Nobody knows where VWAP is. All right, here we go. We're attempting to break below the 15-minute opening range. It's that blue line that you see here. That's your bottom. Or players are getting excited. Flush below this for a opening range break, a 15-minute opening range breakout play. Or the breakout zone to the upside. Let's watch. All right, let's get in. Let's try that long. Playing the bounce of the 15-minute opening range. See if we get lucky on this one. Weak bounce again, but this time I have to be a little flexible to work the stop. Stop, we'll give it some room. If we see a flush below the bottom of that 15-minute opening range, then I'm going to have to change the bias and potential break of the 15-minute opening range to the downside. And it looks like that is what's playing out right now. Five-minute, we're testing the 20 SMA. So the 20 SMA needs to provide a bounce. Otherwise, we're flushing to the downside. The 9 EMA is now providing the resistance around my entry. So my entry can technically become resistance. Not a strong bounce by any means. I need to be patient just because the price action is slow, but not a convincing bounce in any way. I'm going to give it one more candle and I will probably call it. It's, you know, bounces are bounces, right? We're looking for strength on bounces, not consolidation. If this is a bear flag consolidation for the downside, I may cut it as soon as I see a move below this wick. You know, we're used to stronger price action, and a bounce needs to be a bounce, right? Not fall into a bear flag consolidation hoping for the bounce. And that's what it's looking like right now. But because price action is so slow, you gotta also kind of all right, if I see a push below that wick, then I'm out. Needs to bounce here. You got to bounce. Bounce. Come on. Come on, baby. Needs to push with strength. Not convincing me, though. Although it does look like a bull flag there on the lower time frame. Got to give me a stronger bounce than that. All right, little bull flag forming there, but it needs, I mean, my time is running out before the flush happens to the downside. If the bull flag is forming and will have a pop, it needs to pop. I just don't know how patient I want to be on this, knowing that bears have taken control clearly. All right, one touch below. That is all I'll give it. Let me close this before I get into a short now. Unlucky there. Yeah, I'm watching the 5-minute, just not convincing. The 5-minute is clearly red. All right, if that is the bull flag here, not convincing. Slow price action, man. Hate it. These little grinds to the upside, grinds to the downside. Yeah, I agree. Let's see if there is a bounce. There's no need to stay in drawdown though, so we'll take the loss there, and we'll see if there's another entry. But it's pushing. I don't want to FOMO in on chasing a falling knife, but Starisco says news is coming. So let's see. I'm assuming that's 10 a.m. news. I didn't even check the news today. Five-minute just pushed below the 20 SMA, so it's continuing. My next option for a long would be the pivot point down at 970. Or we got to accept that this is bears are in control, and this may be a flush. Friday sell-off. It's the summer. Everybody in the Hamptons wants to go. Everybody in Wall Street wants to go to the Hamptons for the weekend. So your Friday sell-off. All right, we got 10 seconds for the 10 a.m. news. Let's see what that does. At this point, I'd probably have to let it ride all the way down to the pivot point 970 and then consider a bounce there. Or stop fighting the trend. If the bears have taken control, then we may have a strong push to the downside, or stronger push to the downside. So right now, about 20 points in the red in terms of the L. I still have another, if I'll call my, I do have a daily loss limit today, a personal daily loss limit. I don't trade accounts with daily loss limits, but it's Friday. I'm not going to take more of a loss than needed. Let's see if we get a bounce. But at this point, we just flushed down close, not 100, well, no, 70 points. See if there's further downside. Bears are in control. Bears are stair-stepping it down as well now. Tricky price action, but clearly in a selling channel. Tight selling channel, which makes it even trickier. So let's watch this. Hopefully it's a bull flag and we have some type of bounce entry. I like these wicks down here. Maybe another flush for a touch of the 200 SMA for a potential bounce area. That puts us closer to the pivot point at 970. We're going to test the 9 right there. We're attempting to break out of that selling channel. Faking out the breakout there with these little micro movements. So 2-3 point bounces will get you excited. All right, now we're going to test. We're attempting to flush below 22,000. Another attempt to break out of this very thin selling channel. Nice and tight. When it breaks, it breaks. Maybe a quick flush to the 200 SMA and that pivot point for the fake out to the downside and then the bounce. Let's see. Very tight. Breaking out of that selling channel. Bull flag in play. Let's find out. It's getting tight. It's a toss-up. Breaking out. Or the fake out to the upside. Tricky position. At 9, providing the resistance. That's the 90 AMA in blue. And getting open to the idea of the long entry, but so tiny movements. All right, we're going to attempt another long. Tight stop on this as well. Needs to break out with force. Be a little flexible on this. And trapped again. Look at that. NQ having a fun day trapping me. Another pullback. That's the touch of the 200. May have to change my bias. If I'm trying to play the bounce, it ain't happening. Or maybe now it's about to happen and that was just a stop, hunt, run. But it trapped me nicely on that one. Ooh. Glad I had to stop. That was a tight stop there. If it breaks below the 200 SMA, then yeah, pivot point at this point. I'll attempt one more bounce, and otherwise it's bears are in control, and we'll take an L. We'll take the L day. That was a nice trap. Bull flag, and then trap. Nicely done, NQ. All right, I guess let's wait. Let's let it flush to that pivot point, 970 area. And that will be the I mean, how do you not realize that this is a directional day to the downside? The bears finally might have their day, and now we got to accept it. All right, here's the pivot point test. Around 970. The selling channel is still in effect. Right, we had the fake out that caught me to get out of this, but we're still in it. We had the fake out break out of that selling channel, very tight. Now let's see if this is the true breakout. And or is this another fake out to the upside and dead cat bounce? We've had tight selling algo going on right now, which makes it very tricky. I got trapped already on the initial bounce, right? Entered a little too early on this one. I gotta be careful and patient on this. Super Earthman. The problem is I gotta use royalty-free music. Otherwise, YouTube puts a copyright strike. So I'll check, I guess, if YouTube has released any new royalty-free tracks, and I'll add them over the weekend, I promise. Thanks for reminding me. Because, yeah, those tracks have been playing for a while. I don't even know what songs are playing because I don't hear them. It's just royalty-free music, so I don't get copyright strikes. All right. Are we going to get a breakout out of this selling algo, or is NQ just getting hopes up, just trapping these bulls, or anybody long in this like I have tried? There goes another trap. Yeah, these little breakouts out of the channel are traps. Now, not to say it's tight, so when it does happen, I do think we have a move up. Just got to be patient or play tight little longs until we catch it, which is what I'm doing right now with tight little stops. We're hitting pivot point. I mean, if this thing flushes below pivot point, then forget it. We got to find a short. It's a little complicated now that I've missed the entire play to the downside. I may just have to call it a Friday and take the L. No big deal. Not anything crazy in terms of a loss. All right, we're at pivot point. So if we're going to do this, we're going to do this. You got to stick to the trade either way. Yes, it's directional to the downside. I'll just be wrong. But if I'm looking for a trade, we are at a pivot point. Sometimes you just got to take it. Oh, wait a minute. Where's the 20 SMA on the 15-minute? 60. So we still have potential further downside. Yeah, I like my one and done trades. Unfortunately, price action has been very slow. So lately, you do have to do a couple trades until you catch the move. All right, breakout or a fake out again? I already got caught on this fake out. Do I really want to get caught in a second one? Or is that what NQ does is... faked it out, faked me out here, caught me. Tricky price action. Tricky with the slowness. Oof. There's the test again of this pivot point. A lot of selling pressure. Let's get patient. Patience is a virtue. Yeah, I'm watching the 5-minute. I see it. That 9 pivot point at 970 area. I guess that's where it needs to flush below and forget it. There's no bounce today. But that last 5-minute candle was a doji. We've had 2 dojis to the downside. First doji got me. I got trapped nicely on that one. It's getting tight. Oof. Another trap to the upside. Anybody playing that breakout from the channel? Woo! There's the flush. Can it break below these lows? Flushes below that pivot point, then bears are taking this down. All right, pivot point not holding. All your 20 SMA, 200 SMA about to break. Breakout level from the overnight session is about to break, right? This is the breakout area right here. Or will it hold? Did we just test the breakout area? I'm going to enter on a long pretty soon. I think that hold of the breakout level is good news for us. So I'm going to try another long. Oh, did I miss the entry? No, I'm in. Okay. Let's see if we break above this resistance area. You got an area of confluence there. And set the stop. Let's not get too crazy. We'll use this last wick as the stop. If we break above this if we break here with strength, we're adding to it. Adding, being fully aware that this could be a fake out to the upside. And at that point, I'll let go of one contract, let the second contract ride the stop. Come on, you need to push. You need to push with strength. We finally need to see NQ today. Push. What is this? What is this? Bears are in control. So I don't like the indecision here. I'm going to have to let go of one contract soon. It's unable to get past this resistance area. We got the 200 SMA and the 20 SMA providing resistance. Then it's another fake out. Come on. Nope. Another fake out. Those wicks are nice. We need a pop. We need a pop here. We need a pop to the upside. Come on, NQ. Show us your strength. Needs to pop. God damn it. It's price action. Not happening. At 200 SMA is providing resistance. Another nasty fake out. And I think I'll be done with this one. Just couldn't get the timing right today. Then nasty chop after nasty chop. There's the nasty chop. Wow. Wrap me nicely. You might get lucky. Well, it's a chop zone, so the problem is I'm at the top of the chop. So how much do I want to stay in this nasty chop that I just fell trapped to? Ooh. Nasty 5-minute candle. Done. Wait, what happened there? Here we go. Why did it, I thought it was an exit. Hold on, let me close everything. Something just happened here. It entered me on another position? I gotta close that. I don't know what happened there. That was supposed to be a stop. Alright, bears have taken control. I give up. Wow. Nasty trap. So we take a big loss on a Friday. That was a big one. Bears got me today. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And at this point, probably call it a day. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, I got a little excited on this bounce and I got trapped nicely. A little learning lesson there. So the question is, allow the tilt to come in and take another trade or call it a day. How much drawdown do we have here? Ooh, we took a nice loss there. Ugh, that was nasty. So we just hit 200 SMA on a couple of levels. Is this finally the bounce area? We'll find out. Well, that's not necessarily true. We've had directional days where it just keeps going down with no bounce. Everybody trying to long this, like myself, is getting burned pretty badly. And there are days where it will just continue to do that. Burn people trying to long a directional play to either the upside or the downside. This was a brutal fake out. But one thing we do know about NQ is eventually the move will happen. Do you not have enough drawdown to play it? Since I've been so impatient with this one today. I'm going to take one more. This will be the this will be it in terms of trading. If that was the flush, we get everybody out, and then finally we get the break to the upside, then let's see if we can ride this. I probably won't add for a while. At this point, probably just trying to recover some of the loss. Being fully aware that if we get rejection again here, then we just got further downside and call it a day. I'm going to give it this much breathing room. If there's no bounce here, then we got to accept it. We have had V recoveries for the last couple of days, so let's see how this long plays out. At this point, try to recover, but I'm not going to go too crazy in terms of adding or, adding leverage just because I'm in a loss. Look at this, it's nasty. Nasty. So let's see if this is a bounce or bears will continue to punish anybody trying to long the falling knife. Wow, you gotta be kidding me. No bounce today. The 9 EMA continues to provide that resistance, and we're not able to break above that. Done deal. We got further downside. And basically this brutal selling channel that we saw here is continuing to play. Wow. So I'm not liking the bounce. I'll give it another candle. I don't think I'll let it ride to the stop at this point. Brutal, brutal price action. Okay, looks like the bounce is trying to form. Next resistance area is here. If we do, we still got to break above the 9, and we just got rejected again. It's got ways to go if it wants to build this bounce. Pivot point would be over here around 970, 980, which would be the bottom of this overnight range again. Potential pullback there. So, but this 9 EMA has been brutal to the downside today. Unconvincing bounce for sure. But let's see if we get lucky. At this point, it's luck. You know, we can see a push up to that pivot point and then reject. So let's see what happens up there. Got to push with strength, which it's not doing, but I don't even, this price action, I don't know what strength is lately. This was strength though. This push to the downside is no joke. That is huge selling pressure. If this is a dead cat bounce, then I got to understand that we may flush right back down and I may have to close it. Probably not give it the full stop and close it somewhere in the middle. At this point, with this type of price action, walk out. So what chart patterns repeat themselves, right? We saw consolidation here in a brutal flush. If this is another consolidation with another brutal flush coming down, then gotta call it a day. We need to break out of this. If this is truly a bounce, we need to break out here with strength. Otherwise, it's just bear flag consolidation and we have another leg to the downside. I agree. I think the stop at this point, I'm not going to give too much up. How much do I want to give on this stop? 40 points. I'm gonna have to keep it tight and just Call it a day. It needs to push with strength. If we get rejection here, which we just got, then we're going to have a repeat of this trap over here where you can consolidate. It's actually a bear flag and a bear flag for another leg down. Friend is your friend. It looks like we are going down today. We had this long consolidation here that trapped me. We're having this long consolidation here that could be a trap. That's why I'm not adding to it at this point. We'll see how far up we go, and then I'll decide where to cut it if it's another pullback. Capture some green at this point, but letting it breathe as well. Yeah, I'd like to see what happens at the pivot point. Are we going to have the strength that we had to break through the pivot point? If we break through the pivot point, come back and test, maybe I'll add. Because I've taken so much drawdown and been wrong a couple times today, I got to get out of the mentality of I need to recover the whole loss. So maybe just either a break-even day or a minor loss would be good without having to add leverage to it. If I was ahead in the green, then yeah, I would consider longing and maybe risking 30-40% of profits. But I'm in drawdown right now, in significant drawdown. So this is the area, right? This is where we can have the potential pullback and destroy this whole play to the upside. So now it's decisions time. If the pivot point is basically the rejection and we have another leg down, ugh, brutal. I don't know about a great trade. We're in a move to the downside. We just came to major resistance and we may pull back again. So how much do I want to risk another leg down if it's another trap similar to this consolidation, right? Let's see. Just let it breathe. Not convinced, but let's see. Let it breathe. Let it breathe. We'll let it breathe. But told ya. Oh my god. Nasty price action. Gotta be freaking kidding me. Hit the pivot point and rejected. Unfreaking believable price action. Da-da-da-da-da-da. So we had a repeat of this, right? Consolidation, tricking you. Yeah, stay in, and then brutal flush. Wow. All right, hands off, guys. That's it. Not going to take any more losses than this. NQ got me. If now, well, watch the play happen now, right? Stop, run everybody, and then the final play happens. Nasty price action. What was that, a 60-point 1 minute candle? It is what it is. It's just the price action. This is when you call it a day. But it got me good. It got me good today. Whew. 2 fake outs. This one and this one. Brutal. All right, guys. I think that is tilt indicator saying call it a day. That's what happens when you counter trade the trend. And walk out. Enjoy the weekend. No need to blow accounts today. Look at that nonsense. Holy cow. Wow. Now it's just, let's just watch it for the hell of it at this point. Woo. That was a nasty, nasty NQ move. All right, so we got a major loss today. For sure. Will the bounce ever happen today? I don't want to find out at this point. I could care less about bounces. Yeah, no, listen, with this chop, I mean, this was brutal. This one, I get it, that was a trap. This one was a brutal trap. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know if I want to scalp at this point. Let me turn off the trade copier, maybe risk one account. I'm not copy trading right anymore, so let me stop the copy trade. Let me make sure I just have one account. And let's refuse to accept the loss, right? Technically, this is when you're supposed to walk out. I mean, this looks like it's another leg down. I mean, brutal, but yeah, I just turned off the copier. I'm going to accept the loss on the majority of the other accounts. Now let's see if there's any playing this on one account. But NQ trap lovely. Got me lovely today. All right, so I'll watch for the 840 level. Again, trying to counter trade the trend, but I'll do it with one account at this point. I'm not going to go crazy. Wow. NQ on a mission. Wow. Yeah, Mo, it's a tricky one, man. Looks like the Bears are finally going to get their day. Everybody's been talking about the Middle East. Do we have any Middle East news, by the way? Fox News. No Middle East news. I mean, if this is Middle East related, there's no reason to even fight along this. All right. Gonna play one more account. Let's see what we get down at this level. We just hit the pivot point and bounce. It's that 830 level. We bounced 20 points. So far, every bounce has been a trap. Will there be another trap? NQ on a mission, man. There's got to be something Middle East related going on right now. No, nothing really. It's not like the U.S. is going in, but this could be finally the day that Middle East news catches up, and we're in for a major pullback. Do I short? Yeah, I do short. Did I short today? No. The bias, right? The shorts were clearly on the pumps, right? One short, two shorts, but I was directionally biased, so in the wrong direction. That's what happens when you try to long a falling knife like this. So let's see what happens here. Can it continue lower? Of course it can. Can it continue to trap anyone trying to long this? Hell yeah. So I'm accepting the loss on the majority of my accounts. If I put in another trade, it's with one account. But technically, done. Didn't blow any account, but took more of a loss than I wanted. Yeah, Peter. Directional bias for me was obviously completely off. NQ completely pulled a fake out. We just blew through the next pivot point, and now all I can do is watch. Watch as the major play happens in front of me. Yeah, I mean, for me to come into a short, I gotta see a bounce and then get my mind to short it, but too late. I missed the move. Look at those 30-minute candles, brutal. All right, so we attempted to flush the pivot point at 840. That pivot point's not holding either. Yeah, I'm not going to hide losses. I'll take loss days. It's fine. I wish on a Friday I didn't take a loss like this, but I'll keep it real, not hiding anything. Well, if it's going to continue to the downside, I think I'm done. Little more than a loss than I should have taken with the trap on this ad here, but journal it and learn. Gotta live to trade another day, and that's thankfully what's going on right now. Yeah, you got to accept the losses. It's part of trading. You could go a couple days losing, and you just got to be able to accept it, not go too crazy. Manage your drawdown, right? I trade 150Ks across the board, so I know where I should be in a loss. I'm a little higher than I wanted to be. That's why I'm no longer copy trading the rest of the accounts. I'll take the loss for that. And if I do decide to trade another one to get the urge out and technically revenge trade this, it'll only be one account. Theo, we in the red. I'm in the red. I tried to counter trade the trend and paid dearly. NQ trapped me lovely on those bounces. So, and technically it's there, it's mapped out. I wasn't paying attention to the overall directional move, right? All we've had today, and I just caught myself. You need to be able to continue to draw these channels, not get caught up in trading, because this is basically what played out today. You have a selling algo or a selling channel. Clearly the bounces were the tops of these channels. Got caught. It's not the market, it's me. Jimmy Trades, what's going on, brother? All right, do we have a bounce here? Am I going to fall for another bounce? Or I could play the channel if I really want to counter trend this, right? Not get greedy like what happened here and take the full pullback. Maybe play the channel if I really want to long it. And but nasty. Yeah, Jimmy, I thought about you afterwards. I think I got caught up in the stream. I was watching for the 15-minute opening range breakout. And as I'm watching this right now, something happened where I lost focus, and I should have shorted the 15-minute opening range breakout today. I was actually watching for it. The problem was I thought we were going to go back in, got stopped out here, and for some reason I did not shift my thinking. I'll have to look back today, watch the video today again. But yes, this 50-minute opening range breakout I should have played that for sure, 100%. All right, I think that is it. Yeah, I think that's just losing focus. You're live streaming, the pressure of doing it live. But I do remember watching for the ORB today, and I didn't. A lot of mistakes happened today. But it's part of trading. You watch, you journal, and you learn. That 9 EMA has been brutal today on the pressure to the downside, along with the 20. Couple things were missed, mainly because of directional bias. But as long as the loss is contained and you're not blowing accounts, you live to trade another day. And there's another attempted bounce. Oof, it's been brutal today. Brutal. Strong selling pressure. There it is, another get you excited bounce. Yeah, it's been a tricky morning. I'm seeing the mistakes now in hindsight. Of course, this is all in hindsight now. Two major things I should have, as far as journaling. I was watching for the 50-minute opening range. Something happened here when I got stopped out, and I completely forgot about the ORB. Then the extension of this range, I mean, I'm such a channel player. Why did I keep a short selling channel and not be aware that we were in an extended selling channel? Chart patterns tend to repeat themselves, right? You got to stick to the plan. And this long, instead of thinking you're going to recover it all or recover more, the out needed to be right here, playing the channel until we break out of that channel. So learning. Every loss is a learning lesson, right? So now we're going to the next pivot point at 740. Wow. Crazy move to the downside. But the pattern was there. I failed to read it. And that pattern started pretty early. In other words, it's not that the pattern reflected after I traded. It was there before I traded, so I have to get better. Maybe it's getting caught up with the live stream or something. This pattern was there from the beginning, right? This top, you see this, you create the channel based on the top to create the top of that channel. I know that I didn't do that. So yes, we're seeing it in hindsight, but this channel was built before these trades happened. Wow. Complete sell-off. Every pop has been brutally sold down, right? I paid for this one dearly, right? Every little pop. But it respected the channel, so that is on me for not extending the channel as it was happening. And I know better, so journal. Good thing is, we live to trade another day. No blown accounts. What's it going to do here? The problem is now you're in the middle of a pivot point in between 840 and 730, call it, right? So if it's going to test that pivot point down there, 730 is the next, we'll come back up to the channel and come back down, and then possible bounce. Getting tight. It's getting tight. And we're approaching lunchtime. See if we get another leg to the downside. And your classic Friday sell-off during the summer just played out. Now I got to be aware of this bounce to this, come back down, and that was the trap that was happening all morning. But the channel was there. I just I did not extend it. Got caught up in the moment trading versus looking at the bigger picture. All right, we got a couple more minutes and I'll probably call it. Like I said, I'm not copy trading my accounts. I'm taking the loss on those. But if I do, I'm gonna trade probably one more. I'm sorry, one account. If I do entertain it, then we got to see a strong breakout out of this selling algo. If selling is going to continue, then I'm not. I got to respect the set. Now that I didn't respect it as it was playing out, chart patterns tend to repeat themselves. So I'd have to see a strong breakout out of this, testing, and then potential bounce, but directional day. Directional day. Trying to build the bounce out of the 20 and the 920 SMA, but every single time it's tried, brutal flush, right? Every time it's here, these are technically your long areas. Today you pay dearly. Boom, boom. So am I going to go in for a third shot at it? Probably not. Let's just wait. I mean, if it's a bounce, right? There's time. There's time to play it. Now it's so slow, you get excited, it comes and tests the top, and then it comes back down, and the move usually happens within the first hour, 2 hours of the open. After that, you're in chop, and I'd expose myself to further losses. That's why I'm not copy trading my accounts. I'll trade one more account just for no reason. Technically, I should be done. But as far as recovering the loss, very low probability. On a Friday with a huge sell-off like this. And now it's slow, and I think that's going to be a slow movements for the rest of the day. And if you got some green, you nailed it. If you got some red, chances of recovering on a Friday after a major move like this, very minimal. So maybe recover some of the profit, but that's about it. See what happens at the top of that range. Are we going to reject again and flush right back down, similar to what happened here? Or is this finally the breakout and gotcha, now the breakout happens? So that has been a what, 760, a 70 point bounce at this point. Let's see if we test the 9 again. If we flush below the 9, then no. There's the test of the 9 EMA and the 20 SMA right there. If it uses the top of this channel as support, then yeah, we have a move to the upside. I'll hop on a long. It's only one account. Now we're hitting the pivot point. You got some shorts here getting excited, and is it a fake out for the shorts, or is this now the bounce? It just hit pivot point, initial rejection. The last pivot point rejected brutally, right? Boom. Let's see what happens here. Now it's that slow price action. Five-minute is getting bullish. Attempting to break above the pivot. I didn't enter where I should have, which was at the bottom of this channel. Are we going to get some type of pullback to test the top? Pushing. And there's the bounce. That's what NQ does. It punishes the impatient. No, I didn't. And I'm probably not going to take a trade. I mean, I shouldn't with, I got to accept the loss. I got to get into the mindset of just walking out versus continuing to trade. I did miss it. The entry was clearly at the bottom of this channel. So at this point, I'm going to let it go. I missed it. I didn't enter, and it is what it is. Yep. But that's how NQ does it. It won't give you the play when you want it. It gives you the play when it wants it. And like I said, the channel was there. The signs of this directional move to downsides were there. I missed them. I gotta stay focused, even though I'm live streaming and talking, making sure I'm keeping the chart patterns visible versus blindly trying to play a chart pattern that is playing against me. But every loss is a lesson. We still managed risk and not blowing accounts or anything like that. But an unnecessary loss, that I will say that, and I'll accept it. So clearly we're breaking out of the descending or the selling algo. Maybe a pullback and I'll get warmed into hopping on. Selling pressure looks like it's done. And this was the play that I wanted up here. All right, we hit the 2-hour mark in terms of the live stream. I think this is where I call it. For anybody new to the stream or anybody tuning in, if you like the content, do me a favor, smash that like, smash that subscribe. I'll do New York session every day, win, lose, or draw. Clearly, you're seeing the losses today. But I'll keep it transparent. And this is where we would probably look at possible pullback for an entry. But at this time, for me at least, based on the trading I've done, I got to let it go. Got to accept that I missed it and move on. Next week will be another week. And there's that move. I was hoping this would play out and got brutally rejected. Fake out after fake out today, and then finally, after covering you in losses, NQ gives you the move. But it was my fault. In other words, I did not extend this channel that played out right from the beginning. That's on me for not focusing and keeping the overall chart pattern going. It didn't happen afterwards. It happened prior to entering on trade. So totally on me. Yeah, man, this was the play. This was the play that I was waiting for here, for sure. Now I can only watch. 100-point bounce. Let it go. But yeah, for anybody new to the stream, if you like the content, do me a favor, smash that like, smash that subscribe button. I will do New York session every day, win, lose, or draw, tilt moments, green days, all that good stuff. You can also take a look at my website, www.jcdaytrader.com. You got the link to my community Discord there. And some of the prop firms that I trade with, you can use some of those codes for discounts and all that good stuff. Thanks for supporting the channel. For all of you that use those codes, they do help with all the stuff here at the channel, so thank you. Listen, today is a learning lesson. You know, I have trading will have wins, trading will have losses. The lesson today, I'm okay with these trades up here attempting to push for the breakout. I was very tight on the stop. We were break even around here. This was the bounce of the 15-minute opening range. I said I took a gamble. We're not going to break below, and still kept it tight. At this point, this is where I lost focus. I had drawn that algo, right, and I did not extend it. In other words, if you're in selling pressure, you're in a selling algo, you flip your buy side, you flip the sell side until you break out of that algo, similar to what's going on here. Until then, your bias needs to stay short. So what I did was not extend this selling algo, just kept it somewhere up here and forgot about it. forgot about the ORB, or the opening range breakout, and then attempted to blindly long, not realizing that I drew this afterwards, that we were still in that selling algo, and I got punished right here for not closing brutally, but it was the algo. The algo played to the T, to the bottom of that channel, came back up, bottom, came back up, and now we break out. So lost days are neat, they're important. You need to, when I look at lost days, I always go back, I take a look at where the failure happened. Today, several mistakes happened, and it's fun. You learn. Jimmy Trades, have a good one, brother. I'm glad you had some green. Nice play with your 15-minute opening range breakout. That was the play of the day for sure. Super Earth, I appreciate the support. And now I'm going to let it go. Yes, this is technically the bounce that I was looking for, but based on the trading I had today, completely off, out of sync with the market, let it go. Take the loss. It's a little more than I wanted, but nowhere close to blowing accounts. So next week will be another week. All right, my fam, have a great weekend. If you're new to the stream, do me a favor, smash that like, smash that subscribe. I trade from Arizona, so my times are 3 hours behind. That is it for today. Taking the loss, and I will see you all next week. Have a great weekend. Thanks for everybody who tuned in, supporting the channel. I appreciate you all. And I will see you next week. Peter Chan, have a good one. Super Earth, Jimmy Trades, Theo, that other JC. Thanks again to all of you, and have a great weekend.